seems like innovation out of Apple has slowed down over the last few years, so here's a couple of ideas for new products. The first is wearables. A few years ago, Google launched their Glass, the Google Glass project, and I thought that's fantastic. About the same time Apple launched their watch, I thought, how boring. But as it turns out, it looks like Apple may have had the better strategy. Google Glass did not do well, mainly because the face is not made to hold very much weight. And so Apple was smarter. Phase 1 wearable watch. The wrist can hold the processing power and it can be synced up to the glasses. And so the real work happens outside of your face and is synced in to the glasses that way. Very good move. This idea for glasses is probably already in the works. The AR project is most likely involved with this. The other side of it is the battery, and I think now that batteries have advanced, you see the Bluetooth headsets that last a long time, the AirPods themselves that Apple's developed, they work really well. So the idea is interactions would happen with verbal commands or on the Apple Watch or iPhone, and I think they can do this. They can roll something out by 2020. Obviously it would get better with the next release and the upgrades going forward, but they can have something in 2020. A lot of acquisitions and work seems to be happening in this area already, so this one should be a no-brainer. The other product, the new innovation, is in the area of automobiles. Yes, cars. Apple cars. Join the disruption. There's a lot of things happening here already. A lot of companies are trying to get in and have their part of the party. But I would say shift the efforts in Titan, Apple's Project Titan, and self-driving over to something different. They just hired Jamie Wado from the Waymo project out of Google. And so it looks like they're already trying to do something here. But I would say, just like with the iPhone, Apple can lead the change in this auto industry. They actually have the cash to do things, whereas others are not as blessed in that area. A couple of years ago, Airbus and Intel Design released a concept that was brilliant. It actually has to do with a pod and then different ways of carrying it on wheels, in a Hyperloop, and the really sexy part with it flying. But I would say, you know what, don't worry about the flying. That's going to be much, much later. Self-driving cars are the buzz in the auto industry right now, but self-driving is not imminent. There are so many obstacles. It's difficult. It's complex. I would say to Apple, let that go. Let someone else figure that stuff out. There's another way to disrupt and get out in front of the pack. And so think on the long game here. The first thing to do is to have the actual capsule or pod for the people. Take what Tesla has learned in the electric cars and their successes there, and the concept from Airbus Intel Design, and be the first ones to have the capsule, Apple Pod, or whatever you want to call it, iPod even, and rename the music players. But I would see this rolling out in a multi-phase project. The first one would be what I call ground in 2021. Again, just a capsule, and partner with another company, an automaker like Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Honda, somebody like that who has a strong reputation for vehicles, and let them do the undercarriage or the tire and engine part, and you just have the capsule to go with it. So partner with them like you did with AT&T for the phone, and have a strong relationship there at the beginning when you launch, and then you can branch out to other companies later. But that's the first one, Ground 2021. And then Ground Plus, I would call it, in 2022. Now you have multiple chassis or multiple modules that you could put the capsule or pod on. Maybe a truck mod, maybe a long-range mod with the gas motor versus electric motor for the other ones. And then later on, you could do self-driving in 2025 or whenever that's ready. Further down the road, Ground plus Hyperloop, maybe 2030 if Hyperloop materializes. And then even further, Ground plus Hyperloop plus Air, somewhere out in the 2040 time frame. This is going to be a highly competitive area. And so it's important to make sure you're in the game, but do what Microsoft did and say, look, here's the software. You can put it on whatever machine you want to put it on. Just buy our software. Apple did this with the iPhone as well. Here's the unit. Here's the software to make the unit run. But the carriers, Verizon, AT&T, anybody can carry it, but here's our product and we want you to use it. Do the same thing with this capsule, with this car. Build the part that interacts with people. This is your expertise. This is your specialty, the human experience, the human interaction. So build those capsules, build those pods, let other people build a car to carry them. Hope you like this video. If you do, click the like button below. Thanks.